Welcome back, folks. We have the S&Ps up 17 points right now. We're just above 6,300 intraday. Quite a roller coaster ride. And right now, folks, we're going to jump over and talk to our man, Eliott Wellenbach. Eliott's Senior Vice President and Institutional ETF Strategist with Direxion. And folks, Direxion has an outstanding lineup of ETFs, leveraged ETFs, and non-leveraged. Head on over to the front page of TFNN.com, click on those Direxion banners, and we're going to talk about some of them as we talk to Eliott. Eliott, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, Tommy. Thank you for having me on today. Excited to be here.
My pleasure. You know, we talked to you on Wednesdays, man, and I think we've had you on some wild Wednesdays before, maybe Fed Day or something. And I saw the news hit with Powell today, and I said, oh, man, it's going to be a wild one again. And things have calmed a bit, but we have some volatility, to say the least, news-driven. But I wanted to kick things off with Nvidia, if I could. And some of those chip stocks, man. Nvidia, I just pulled it up as during the break, getting you on $4.16 trillion company. We've seen the volatility, China back in focus, but could we talk a little bit about Nvidia and some of the semiconductors, man? You guys have some lineups there, please.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, earlier this week, Nvidia was informed by the U.S. government that they're going to be allowed to sell and export some chips to specific countries, including China. Quickly after that, we saw AMD also get that notification, and so that was really helped buoy the the semiconductor and chip market. And like you mentioned, we do have a variety of different ways to trade the semiconductors, both through triple leverage ETFs off the semiconductors, SOXL, SOXS, bull and bear products. And we even have individual names on Nvidia, on AMD, that are single stock ETFs, 2x bull or single inverse bear. So that's NVDU, NVDD for Nvidia, and then AMUU, AMDD for AMD. And I think this has actually been it was positive, at least in the moment, kind of trade rhetoric for the overall market as well, that really kind of gave some optimism to that trade talks were moving forward between the U.S. and China off of this move.
Yeah, it's been quite a run, man, to say the least, and it's pretty remarkable. Just even on the equity basis, let alone leverage, Nvidia goes from 86 to 172 from that April low. And the skies are bright. Now they got China in focus, and their CEO, Nvidia, talking about, hey, that's billions. So it's in play. To kick off the program, I was talking about some of the banks. Let's talk some of the banks. Some decent earnings, trading revenue from the banks. What do you think about these bank earnings? Some decent earnings.
No, absolutely, yes. Earning season for Q2 is in full swing now this week, with the financials really leading the way, as you mentioned earlier. Financial select sector, largest financial institutions in the U.S., about 40% of that basket is reporting this week. We've already seen names JP Morgan, Citi, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America have already reported. And we kind of have seen the same rhetoric out of all of those banks, with the volatility that was created earlier in Q2, led to record-breaking profits for the trading team, especially for U.S. equity trading, as well as fixed income, that has really helped buoy bank earnings. And we actually have a few products that provide leverage exposure there. We have, for the financial select, we have FAS, triple leverage bull, and FAZ, which is a triple inverse bear product. And we even have, people sometimes forget about the regionals, but we have about 30% of the regional select sector, that basket, reporting this week, and then even bigger, about 45% reporting next week. And a great way to play more of the regional, smaller banks instead of the larger financial institutions. And we triple leverage ETF there, DPST. Great way to trade it if you're looking for that exposure.
And man, some of those runs, DPST from 46 to 97, and we know, but just tremendous. Even the underlying, just the banks on fire, man, and putting up some decent earnings to warrant some of those valuations. And hey, you mentioned earnings. I know you guys have some great single stocks, and it's remarkable how I think these single stock ETFs, and as a trader, it just makes so much sense to me in terms of gaining maybe some added exposure on the bullish side, whether you want to offset something on the bearish side. But we have some great equities coming up this week with earnings. And if you could tell the investors, some of those, of course, talking single stock ETFs, are those investors looking for exposure to those earnings events.
Yeah, definitely. We actually have over 20 pairs of single stock ETFs now. And when I say pair, meaning for every single stock ETF out there, we have a 2x bull, and then we have a single inverse bear for it. We have Netflix after the closing bell tomorrow. We have, again, single stock ETFs, NFXL, 2x bull, NFXS, 2x, or excuse me, single inverse bear. And Netflix has really been, on a run this year. They've had some really strong content. Earnings are right now expected to be generally in line with expectations, but a real driver for Q2, or excuse me, for the remainder of the year is some of the stacked up content that they have of new shows, as well as some live sporting events. And to go off of just another big name reporting, tomorrow we have Taiwan Semis reporting tomorrow morning before the opening bell. And that's going to be interesting just to see how chips shake out. We had ASML reporting today that shook up the chip space a little bit with a weaker than expected guidance. So I know that Taiwan Semi is definitely going to be in focus. And our tickers there for 2X Bull is TSMX, and then the single inverse bear is TSMZ. So some really exciting earnings this week. And a couple more next week, even with Tesla. That's by far our largest single stock ETF, and that's next Wednesday. So a little further out, but something to look forward to for the traders for sure.
And I think it's great, especially when we talk about earnings, if traders, and we have many of them, of course, in the Tiger's Den, and that likes to trade around earnings, of course, and many times if they're trading equities, for me, and this is me spoken, but you gain access to 2 times the exposure on the event, which just is a good deal. And man, that TSMX and TSM itself is up dramatically, but just for a double leveraged, amazing, these moves from 12 to 35 for the entire equity, while Taiwan Semi, quite a run during that time. We referenced China with Nvidia, but China's got their economy. It's cooking again a little bit, and you guys have some great ETFs for China. Talk to me a little bit about China overall for investors looking for that exposure in their portfolio.
Yeah, so China had their GDP growth that came in right around 5.2% from April to June. Honestly, that was better than expected. It keeps that kind of 5-year target expansion number within reach for the year. And we saw that strong exports made up for kind of the sluggish consumer. And there is some concern right now that, without additional stimulus, that deflation is going to continue to pick up, and it might not be able to really shake out a sluggish consumer if additional stimulus is not injected. We have various ways to trade China. We have Chinese tech, CWeb, that's a 2X ETF of ours. And then we have our classic yin and yang pair. That's a FTSE China 50, and great ways to trade China. And you can see them all on our website. We have a lot more opportunity there as well.
Folks, check it out. You can hit that Direxion banner right in the front page at tfnn.com. I was scrolling through those single stock ETFs, man. Quite a selection. Eliott, I appreciate the time, man, the education as always, and I look forward to talking to you next month.
Hey, thanks, Tommy. Talk to you soon, and have a good one.
You too. You too. Thanks so much. Folks, click on that banner on the front page at tfnn.com, and we'll be right back.